You know, the market has cycles just like we as traders have cycles. Sometimes things going really well, sometimes things are going poorly. Um, I've had my string of really rotten streaks. Lately, and knock wood, just about everything I've been talking about has been unfolding beautifully. So I'll just take advantage of that good fortune. Say, click the donate thing, please, if you're getting value out of it. You know, like I was talking about shorting precious metals. If you made some coin off that, you might want to send a few pennies my way as a thank you, because it ain't going to happen when I stink. Anyway, so just thought I'd get that out of the way. Let's look at the markets and wait for this winning streak to end, huh? The euro. This is the only thing I'm long right now. I had mentioned a big gold position too. I may regret this, but literally seconds before the close, I got out and took my profit on that one. My exposure to the euro is so big that I don't need to double down with the gold as well. This is also much tamer. So I'm long FXE. That's my one hedge right now. And what I'm sort of hoping for and sort of not hoping for is a bounce back to anywhere close to that green line. That's a ways away. You know, that's a good 200 pips from here. But if we were to bounce up to this vicinity, it would be great for my FXE position. It would be probably not great at all for my 71 short positions, all of them small, don't have any big ones, which is kind of my how I'm doing things these days. However, if we were to bounce to that level, I would get out of FXC and sort of man up and short lots more stuff, because given the consistency of the fall over the past 3 days, I'm kind of in don't get greedy mode. Although I wish I had been greedy yesterday, because as I pointed out, I was short all kinds of things like this, for example, which continued to fall today. I feel less bad because they didn't close anywhere near the lows, but all the same, little skittish, and I hope you understand why I'm skittish after the couple of years we've been through. So anyway, that's kind of my game plan. Long the euro, sticking with all those little shorts just because it's risky and silly to just cover them left and right because they're all teeny tiny, and I'd rather just let them suffer through a bit of a drawdown with the hope that I'll get more aggressive on a bounce. And, if the euro falls hard tonight and all the stocks do too, great. That's great for my shorts, and I'll take some bloody nose on the FXC, and that's okay too. Scanning a few of the indexes here, the NASDAQ has fallen sort of good and bad for bears. The good news is that it more than covered that gap. So the notion of this island being this like bullish reversal signal has been eradicated. The bad is that there's a lot of activity down here. So we're going to kind of slow down as we get into this thicket of molasses. You can kind of, I haven't drawn it, but you can sort of see the nice series of lower highs. Clearly, we don't want to get above yesterday's high. Absolutely not. The gold has been beyond fascinating. As we look at HUI, very substantial drop of 3% here. I, on a daily basis, am kind of looking back and forth trying to figure out if we're where we are in this analog. Just really not quite sure yet. Obviously, a severe cut through the lower level would be very exciting. I don't know if that's several months away at this point. It could well be. Have to wait and see on that one. Speaking of precious metals, I made a lot of fuss about this triangle, and that fuss was well earned because as we were in the midst of this, and I kind of recognized the triangle probably around about here and drew in these lines, and I was waiting for it to finally break the damn thing, and when it did break, this thing has fallen about $150 plus an ounce. It's been a remarkable fall. I did a few day trades on it today, some profitable, some not. Got better as the day wore on. And I've put this line here at 1562 is kind of a line in the sand as for support. If it were to bounce, and it's not bouncing as of this moment, but if it were to bounce, I guess I could see it getting as high as like maybe 1675 or so. That would be a very hardy bounce, of course. But ultimately, I expect this guy to get down into the mid 1300s or so, at which time I think I'll be traipsing off to the bullion store to gobble up as much silver and gold as I can sensibly afford. I think it'd be a great, great buying opportunity. Similarly, SIH2, silver actually up right now. I'm recording this a few hours after the close on Wednesday. It's Wednesday. God, not enough sleep. So same deal. Very exciting on the bond front. I am encouraged that the bonds have been so strong. And I will say that if we can get above 145.25, that will be fantastic, because two good things happen. One, we'll push above this trend line, and two, this is a very pretty cup with handle pattern. And what's good for bonds is good for bears. So that would be really cool. So watch that closely. There's a lot of news coming out on Thursday morning. That news could provide the impetus for more falling or a push higher. Paradoxically, I'm kind of hoping for that push higher. We'd ease away from this a bit and kind of like calm people down, and then whammo. But I don't have any control over such things, so we'll just have to play it as it comes. If there are those who are eager to go long for some reason, there's a few kind of interesting ETFs that I was looking at. One of them is the Emerging Markets Fund, EEM. I'd actually earmarked that earlier as a prospective buy for those who just can't help themselves. Not so much now, because in the minutes leading up to the close, it kind of violated that trend line. So that's kind of ugly at this point. XLB is a little better. As we look here, we've got a pretty well-formed inverted head and shoulders. Now, I don't really think it'll fulfill that, because if it does, we're all kind of screwed on the bear side, because that would imply, a huge move higher. More short term, I will point out that we've got this nice little gap here, which makes a very clean level of for a stop loss. XLE, and again, these are sort of like, if you feel like it, long plays, but I don't feel passionate at all about any of these. But XLE looks pretty interesting, because we've got this pretty decent trend line, and with this guy being the exception, a nice series of higher lows. As we zoom in here, we can also see a nice little gap as our guide, the high on this date being 6493. So I would use that as my 64.92. I would use as my stop if I did buy that. Of course, you have the luxury of waiting to see what the news is tomorrow, because if we just are weak from the get-go, you might not want to touch any of this with a 10-foot pole. Financials were surprisingly strong today. Down, yes, but only 0.4%, which, considering everything else going on, that makes them kind of a hero. So another prospective bounce play there. And finally, XOP. Hard day today, down 4.32%, provided it stays above this recent intermediate low of 48.14. Maybe an opportunity for a bounce there. So, wrapping this up, long FXC, short 71 little guys, don't have any large short positions, and would feel a heck of a lot better about shorting more aggressively if we did get a bounce in the euro to 132 or so. Thursday is action-packed as far as news. Friday is not much of anything, I don't think. And There's only about 11 days left at this point in the trading year, so let's count them down. See you Thursday.